The following days were a blur for Omolewa. She went through the motions of her daily life, all the while struggling with the decisions she had to make. Junior's words echoed in her mind, tempting her with the promise of a new life, free from the lies and deceits that had become a reality. Jaden, oblivious to the turmoil in his wife's heart, was overjoyed at the prospect of becoming a father. He showered Omolewa with affection, planning for the future with an enthusiasm that only deepened her guilt. She wanted to tell him the truth, but every time she tried, the word stuck in her throat. One evening, as they sat together in the living room, Jaden took Omolewa's hand in his. "I can't wait for our baby to arrive," he said, his eyes shining with excitement. "I've already started planning for the nursery. It's gonna be perfect, just like you and our baby." Omolewa forced a smile, her heart breaking at the sincerity in his voice. She knew she had to tell him the truth, but the thought of shattering his happiness was too much to bear. Instead, she nodded, her mind a whirlwind of emotions. As Jaden continued to talk about their future, that night, Omolewa lay awake, her thoughts consumed by the choice she had to make. She knew that she couldn't keep living a lie, but the idea of losing Junior was unbearable. As she tossed and turned, a plan began to form in her mind. She would meet with Junior and tell him that they couldn't go through with their plan. She would end the affair and focus on her marriage, no matter how difficult it would be. The next day, Omolewa called Junior and asked him to meet her at their usual spot, a small hotel tucked away in a quiet corner of the city. Junior arrived first, his eyes lighting up as Omolewa walked through the door. He stood up to greet her, his arms opening wide for a hug. "Omolewa, I've missed you," he said, his voice filled with warmth. "What's going on? You sounded so serious on the phone." Omolewa sat down, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. "Junior, we need to talk," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "I've been thinking a lot about what you said, about getting rid of Jaden. I can't do it, Junior. I can't be a part of this." Junior's smiles faded, his eyes narrowing as he looked at her. "What do you mean? You can't do it? We've come too far to turn back now. This is our chance to be together, Omolewa. Don't you see that?" Omolewa shook her head, tears filling her eyes. "I know, but it's wrong, Junior. He's your brother and he loves me. I can't betray him like this." Junior leaned forward, his voice low and urgent. "You are not betraying him, Omolewa. You are saving your life. You are saving yourself from a life of mystery. You and I, we belong together. We've loved each other and we've always belonged together. You know that." Omolewa looked away, her heart heavy with guilt and regret. She knew that Junior was right, but they had a connection that was impossible to ignore. But the thought of hurting Jaden was too much to bear. She had to make a choice and she had to make it now. "I'm sorry, Junior," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I can't do it. I'm ending this for good." Junior sat back, his face a mask of disbelief and anger. "You are ending this? Just like that? After everything we've been through? You are just going to walk away?" Omolewa nodded, her eyes filling with tears. "I have to, Junior. I'm sorry." His face darkening with anger. "Fine. If that's how you want it, then that's how it will be. But don't think for a second that I am going to let you get away with this. You are going to regret this, Omolewa. Mark my words." With that, Junior turned and walked out of the hotel, leaving Omolewa alone with her thoughts and her tears. Junior's word echoed in Omolewa's mind as she drove home. She knew that she had to make the right decision, but the thought of losing Junior was unbearable. She loved him and the idea of never seeing him again filled her with a sense of loss and regret. As she pulled into the driveway, Omolewa took a deep breath and wiped away her tears. She had to be strong for Jaden and for their unborn child. She couldn't let her emotions get the best of her. She had to move on and focus on her marriage. Inside, Jaden was waiting for her, a smile on his face as he pulled her into a warm embrace. "How was your day, my love?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Omolewa forced a smile, her heart aching at the sight of his loving gaze. "It was fine," she replied, her voice steady. "Just a bit tired, that's all." Jaden nodded, his eyes filled with understanding. "I know it's been hard, Omolewa, but I'm here for you, always. We are in this together." Omolewa nodded, her heart swelling with love and gratitude. She knew that she had made the right decision and she was determined to make her marriage work. Over the next few weeks, Omolewa focused on her marriage, trying to put her past with Junior behind her. She and Jaden attended childbirth classes, prepared for nursery, and planned for the future. Omolewa threw herself into her new life, trying to forget about Junior and the pain of their affair. But Junior wasn't willing to let go easily. He was determined to get what he wanted, no matter the cost. He knew that Omolewa was the key to his happiness, and he wasn't going to let her go without a fight. One evening, as Omolewa and Jaden were sitting down to dinner, the doorbell rang. Jaden got up to answer it, and a moment later, Junior walked into the dining room, a cold smile on his face. "Junior, what are you doing here?" Omolewa asked, her voice trembling with fear and anger. Junior shrugged, his eyes cold and calculating. "I just wanted to see my brother and his lovely wife. Is that a problem?" Jaden looked between the two of them, his face filled with confusion. "Junior, is everything okay?" Junior nodded, his eyes never leaving Omolewa's. "Everything is fine, Jaden. I just wanted to talk to Omolewa, if that's okay with you." Jaden looked at Omolewa, his eyes filled with concern. "Is everything okay, Omolewa?" Omolewa nodded, her heart pounding in her chest. "Yes, everything is fine. Junior and I just need to talk." Jaden nodded, his face filled with trust and understanding. "Okay, I'll be in the other room if you need me." As Jaden left the room, Junior turned to Omolewa, his eyes filled with anger and determination. "We need to talk, Omolewa. I'm not letting you go without a fight." Omolewa looked at him, her heart filled with fear and regret. She knew that Junior was determined to get what he wanted, and she didn't know how to stop him. In the weeks that followed, Junior's visits became more frequent and more intrusive. He would show up unannounced at Jaden's and Omolewa's house. His presence a constant reminder of their affair. Omolewa tried to ignore him, focusing on her marriage and her pregnancy, but Junior was relentless. One evening, as Jaden was away on a business trip, Junior showed up at the house, his eyes filled with a cold determination. "We need to talk, Omolewa," he said, his voice low and urgent. "I'm not going to let you go that easily." Omolewa shook her head, her heart pounding in her chest. "I told you, Junior, it's over. I'm with Jaden now. I can't do this anymore." Junior stepped closer, his eyes locking into hers. "You don't love him, Omolewa. You love me. We have something special, something he can't give you." At first, Omolewa was scared and hesitant, but after giving it a long thought, she gave herself silly excuses. She began to rationalize that she was happier with Junior, that perhaps God wanted them to be together. The more she thought about it, the more convinced she became that her future was with Junior, not Jaden. Together, they planned to poison Jaden. Junior brought the poison, a clear and odorless substance, and handed it to Omolewa. All you have to do is put it in his food. He said, it will be quick and painless. He won't suffer. Omolewa took the vial from Junior, her hand trembling. She knew that what she was about to do was wrong, but her love for Junior clouded her judgment. She convinced herself that it was the only way for them to be together.